हृदये वेणुं शिरसि सिगिपुच्छं खदितते सुगोलं नेत्राण्डे साक्षादाकटाक्षं ददते सदा श्रीमद्वृन्दावनवसुलीला परिचयो जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयनपदगामी भवतु मे महम्बोधे स्थिरे कनकरुचिरे नीलशिखरे वसन्तप्रसादा सगजफलपत्रेण बलिना सुभद्रामत्यसितसुकलसेवा वसनतो जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयनपदगामी भवतु मे कृपापारापारा सजगजलदा श्रीनिरुचिरो रमापाणि रमा स्फुरतमलबहुग्रेण मुखा सुरेन्द्रैराराध्यक्षुरतिगानगीतचरितो जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयनपदगामी भवतु मे रथारूढो गच्छन् पदिमिलितवभूदेव पदलैः सुदीप्रवर्तुं प्रतिपदम् उपहर्य सदया दया सिन्धुर्बन्धु सकलजगदां सिन्धुसदयो जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयनपदगामी भवतु मे परब्रह्मा बीजा कुवलय दलोत्फुल्लनयनो निवासी नीलाद्रौ निहितशरणो नन्दशिरसि रसानन्दो राधा सरसमपुरालिङ्गनसुखो जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयनपदगामी भवतु मे न वैयायीराज्यं न सगणकमाणिक्यविभवं न याशीहं रम्यां जलजनकाम्यां वरवधूं सदा काले काले ब्रह्मवदिनं गीतचरितो जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयनपदगामी भवतु मे हरस्वं संसारं सुरधरं असारं सुरपते हरत्वं पावनं विदुधम् अपरं यादवपते अहो दीनेनादे निहितशरणो निश्चितमिदं जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयनपदगामी भवतु मे जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयनपदगामी भवतु मे
जय जगन्नाथ 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 जय बलदेव
नित्य फौदर आचार्य श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय विष्णुपाद ब्रह्मचक्र विचार्य अश्वत श्रीमती श्रीनिधि श्रील भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की गुरु परंपरा की सद्गुरु स्वामिवृत्त की नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की फ्रेंड्स ऑफ श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री वासादि गुरु भक्त वृंद की गंगामय यमुनामय भक्ति देव तुलसी महारानी की मायापुर वृंदावन धाम की पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की श्री श्री प्रहलाद नरसिंह भगवान की श्री श्री राधा माधव की श्री श्री गुरुअप्पन स्वामी की श्री श्री अतोनंदन दामोदर भगवान की जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण प्राजक्त की श्रील प्रभुपाद प्रोग्राम की all groups assembled devotees, all groups assembled devotees, all groups assembled devotees, all groups, Guru and Gauranga and groups Srila Prabhupada. Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Jnananjanasalakaya Chakshurmilidam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Vasatya Deshatarine जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय नरसिम्हा श्री नरसिम्हा जय जय श्री नरसिम्हदेव प्रहलादेश जया पद्मा मुखापद्मा वृंदा उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं जलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं सिंहं बीजनं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् ॐ नरसिंहाय नमः ॐ महासिंहाय नमः ॐ दिव्यसिंहाय नमः ॐ महाबलाय नमः ॐ उग्रसिंहाय नमः ॐ महादेवाय नमः ॐ सम्पदाय नमः ॐ जयवर्धनाय नमः ॐ रौद्राय नमः ॐ सर्वद्भुताय नमः ॐ श्रीमनाय नमः ॐ योगानन्दाय नमः ॐ त्रिविक्रमाय नमः ॐ हरिणे नमः ॐ कोलाहलाय नमः ॐ चक्रिणे नमः ॐ विजयाय नमः ॐ जयवर्धनाय नमः ॐ भजननाय नमः ॐ परब्रह्माय नमः ॐ अघोराय नमः ॐ गौरविक्रमाय नमः ॐ जलान्मुखाय नमः ॐ जलामालिने नमः ॐ महाजलाय नमः ॐ महाप्रभुवाय नमः ॐ निधिलक्षाय नमः ॐ सहस्राक्षाय नमः ॐ दुर्निरीक्षाय नमः ॐ प्रदापनाय नमः ॐ महादंशाय नमः ॐ युधप्रज्ञाय नमः ॐ चण्डगोपिने नमः ॐ सदाशिवाय नमः ॐ प्रणयकशभूतंसिने नमः ॐ दैत्यदानवपञ्जननाय नमः ॐ गुणभद्राय नमः ॐ महाभद्राय नमः ॐ बलभद्राय नमः ॐ सुभद्राकाय नमः ॐ करलाय नमः विगरलाय नमः ॐ विगर्दाय नमः ॐ सर्वकार्तिकाय नमः ॐ शिशुमाराय नमः ॐ त्रिलोकात्माय नमः ॐ ईशाय नमः ॐ सर्वेश्वराय नमः ॐ विभुवाय नमः ॐ पैवरम्बराय नमः ॐ दिव्याय नमः ॐ अच्युताय नमः ॐ गाविने नमः ॐ माधवाय नमः ॐ मधोक्षजाय नमः ॐ अक्षराय नमः ॐ सर्वाय नमः ॐ वनमालिने नमः ॐ वरप्रदाय नमः ॐ विश्वाम्बराय नमः ॐ अद्भुताय नमः ॐ भाव्याय नमः ॐ श्रीविष्णवे नमः ॐ पुरुषोत्तमाय नमः ॐ नगस्त्राय नमः ॐ नगस्त्राय नमः ॐ सूर्यज्योतिने नमः ॐ सुरेश्वराय नमः ॐ सहस्रबाहुवाय नमः ॐ सर्वज्ञाय नमः ॐ सर्वसिद्धिप्रदायकाय नमः ॐ वज्रदंष्टाय नमः ॐ वज्रनगाय नमः ॐ महानन्दाय नमः ॐ परन्तपाय नमः ॐ सर्वमन्त्रैकरूपाय नमः ॐ सर्वयन्त्रविदारमाय नमः ॐ सर्वतन्त्रात्मकाय नमः ॐ अव्यक्ताय नमः ॐ सुव्यक्ताय नमः ॐ भक्तवत्सलाय नमः ॐ वैशाखशुक्लबुधोताय नमः ॐ शरणागतवत्सलाय नमः ॐ उदारकीर्तिने नमः ॐ पुण्यात्माय नमः ॐ महात्माय नमः ॐ चन्द्रविक्रमाय नमः ॐ वेदात्र्याय नमः ॐ प्रभुज्याय नमः ॐ ओम भगवानाय नमः। ओम परमेश्वराय नमः। ओम श्रीवत्संगाय नमः। ओम जगद्व्यापिने नमः। ओम जगन्मायाय नमः। ओम जगत्पालाय नमः। ओम जगन्नाथाय नमः। ओम महाकाय नमः। ओम त्रिविरूपप्रदाय नमः। ओम परमात्माय नमः। ओम परमज्योतिने नमः। ओम निर्गुणाय नमः। ओम निर्विकेशने नमः। ओम परतत्वाय नमः। ओम परंधामाय नमः। ओम सच्चिदानंद विग्रहाय नमः। ओम लक्ष्मी नरसिंहाय नमः। ओम सर्वात्माय नमः। ओम धीराय नमः। ओम प्रहलादपालकाय नमः। ओम उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं जलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं वीरं भद्रं मृत्युंजयं नमाम्यहम्। जय नरसिंह श्री नरसिंह जय जय श्री नरसिंहदेव। प्रहलादेश जयावत्मा महावत्मा गंगा। नमस्ते नरसिंहाय प्रहलादनाथदायिने हिरण्यकशिपुवक्षः शीलगङ्गानकाय विदो नरसिंह वरदो नरसिंह यदो यदो यामि तदो नरसिंह हरि नरसिंह हृदये नरसिंह नरसिंहमदीचरणं प्रपदे तव करकमलवरेण्यः अतुलशृङ्गा तनिकाभिरण्यकशिपु तनुसिंहाञ्जय केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे। श्री कृष्णदेव भगवान की श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की श्री विधायक सुंदर की हरि कौन प्रभुपाद की।
Hare Krishna, Hari Bol, can you hear me? Hello, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Hari Bol, can you hear me? Hare Krishna. கேக்குதா? ஒரு நிமிஷம். Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? I cannot hear you. Okay. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Shrimate Jai Bhaktivedanta Swami Tinamine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Sorry we are late, trying to solve a technical glitch. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet. Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavadir Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, text 16 of chapter 9, canto 1. Okay. Nahi asya karihi chitrajan puman veda viditsitam yat vigna saya yukta mukhyanti kavayo apihi. O king, no one can know the plan of Lord Krishna. Even though great philosophers inquire exhaustively, they are bewildered. I will read that again. Nahi yasya karihi chitrajan puman veda viditsitam yet vijignasaya yukta muhyanti kavayo apihi. So, purport: the bewilderment of Maharaj Yudhishthira over his past sinful acts and the resultant sufferings, etc., is completely negated by the great authority, Bhishma, one of the 12 authorized persons. Bhishma wanted to impress upon Maharaj Yudhishthira that since time immemorial, no one, including such demigods as Shiva and Brahma, could ascertain the real plan of the Lord. So what can we understand about it? It is useless also to inquire about it. Even the exhaustive philosophical inquiries of sages cannot ascertain the plan of the Lord. The best policy is simply to abide by the orders of the Lord. Without argument, the sufferings of the Pandavas were never due to their past deeds. The Lord had to execute the plan of establishing the kingdom of virtue, and therefore his own devotees suffered temporarily in order to establish the conquest of virtue. Bhishma Deva was certainly satisfied by seeing the triumph of virtue, and he was glad to see King Yudhishthira on the throne, although he himself fought against him. Even a great fighter like Bhishma could not win the battle of Kurukshetra because the Lord wanted to show that wise cannot conquer virtue, regardless of who tries to execute it. Bhishma Deva was a great devotee of the Lord, but he chose to fight against the Pandavas by the will of the Lord. because the Lord wanted to show that a fighter like Bhishma cannot win on the wrong side. Om Tat Sat. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. What a what a beautiful, wonderful purport about the plan of the Lord Krishna. You see, nothing can move without the sanction of the Lord, is something we have heard. Tena vina trinamapina chalati. Trinamapina chalati means not even a blade of grass will move this way, that way. So, very beautifully explained by Prabhupada here, that there is a plan and there is a lesson coming by that plan for people in this world. That lesson is strongly sent to as a message from Krishna. Vice can never sustain itself against virtue. Dharma will always prevail against adharma. However, it may look to people who are witnessing, it may look very adharmic, it may look this, that, it may look completely wrong, it may look so many things, but finally you will see dharma prevails because that is a plan of Krishna. That is a plan of Krishna. Jayastu Panduputranam Tasham Pakshe Janardana. Victory is for the Pandavas because on their side, Paksha, on their side is Krishna. So Dharma prevails where Krishna prevails because Dharmam tu Sakshat Bhagavat Pranitam. Bhishma knows this very well, although he is fighting on the other side. Why? Because he is a devotee. And he also knows that he is fighting on the other side by the plan of Krishna. And therefore is executing his duty on the other side properly, in fact very vigorously, in fact even kindling Krishna further beyond his dharma in devotional mood and trying to break Krishna's promise, which Krishna knew. And on a devotional plane they both were actually relating with each other, and Krishna satisfied Bhishma. This is what happened. The plan of Krishna was to enjoy with Bhishma devotional sentiments on the battlefield while the battle is going on. Can you believe that? And that was also going on. And Bhishma was able to reciprocate like that, and Krishna was able to reciprocate back with Bhishma. What all can Krishna do simultaneously at one point? That's very interestingly mentioned. Because here right now in Bhishma Panchaka, we are on the last 5 days of Bhishma, and he is completely focused on Krishna, totally remembering Krishna, absorbing Krishna, right? And how did he come to this point that he is in a position where he can leave his body when he wants? Swachanda Mrityu. When he wants, he can die. How is it possible? Such a great yogi, right? So the story is that actually the story is Shantanu Maharaj. I think I already told the story. Anyway, briefly give you the story how he came to this point of being able to give up his body at his will. At his will. That is, the Purana story in Padma Purana and Mahabharata and everything, it's given. I think Vishnu Purana and Mahabharata is given. The story of Bhishma Dev. Bhishma Dev was actually one of the Vasus, one of the 8 Vasus. His name was Dyav. And his wife wanted Vashishta's cow, Kamadhenu. And under the leadership of Dyav, all the Vasus tried to take the cow away. And Vashishta cursed them. You will all be born in the material world. And then when they prayed back and said that please don't, then he said all of you will come back except for this one person who planned everything, this Dyav. He will stay back. But he will get great glory. He'll become glorious because of the special mercy of the Lord on him. So this is how Bhishma appeared. He is that 8th Vasu. So the story is reflected in the fact that Shantanu Maharaj in his previous life is Mahabhisheka. And Mahabhisheka actually was such a great king that he went to Vishnu Loka. And in Vishnu Loka, once he went to visit Brahma Loka, Brahma. And in Brahma, in the presence of Brahma, Ganga Devi, who was also there, she and he met together with a glance which was not proper. And Ganga Devi's clothes were little disarrayed because of a breeze. And something happened there, which Brahma noticed and said, both of you are not fit to be here. You should go back to the material hemisphere and, do the necessary things to purify yourself. So Ganga Devi pleaded. And so Brahma said that you will come back after you have got the 8 Vasus as your son and after you've got, the predominant Vasu, and then you will come back. And to Maharaj Abhishek, he became Shantanu. That is also known because Ganga Devi appeared in the material world and she was moving around looking for where this person is. At that time, Shantanu's father was ruling. And somehow she thought that this is the person, that Shantanu's father came to the Ganges, bank of the Ganges to meditate. And then she thought this is only the person and she went and sat on his right thigh while he was meditating. And then she said, you must accept me as your husband. That is their prediction. So Pratipa, his name was, I'm sorry, Pratipa. He told that, no, you sat on my right thigh. That is a position for a daughter-in-law. You will actually get my son as your husband, not me. This is proper. And he left. So Ganga Devi was, something went wrong. And then Shantanu was the son born of Mahabhishek. And Shantanu, after a long time, came to the forest hunting because he was a powerful Kshatriya. There he met Ganga Devi. And then after meeting with Ganga Devi, he married her. But she said, I'll marry you only under one condition. One condition is that you must never ask me any questions for the things that I do. Right? Don't ask me any questions. He said, okay, no problem, because he was madly in love with her. And this is Ganga Devi, supremely purifying, personality. So they got married, and then the first kid she got, she just took the kid directly to the Ganges and threw him into the Ganges. And Shantanu was looking in awe and said nothing. And she did the same thing for the first 7 kids. On the 8th kid, when she was doing that, he held her and said, I cannot allow you to do this anymore. So she immediately got angry. She said, I gave you a condition. You cannot ask me anything. So therefore, I am no more with you. I cannot be with you. And she left with that child to the forest. She went to Vashishta's ashrama. It's very amazing. And Vashishta is a person who cursed the Vasus. And this is the eldest of the Vasu, the leader of the whole Vasus. And she went to Vasishta's place and Vasishta trained this person. She named him Devavrata, and Vasishta trained, and she also was playing the role of the mother very nicely. And so he grew up to be a very young, powerful, handsome man. That was 32 years he was away. And then Shantanu came back to the forest to hunt. That time he saw this powerful lad, this young man. He saw him with his arrows create a dam and stop the Ganges, but just with his skill of the arrows, and he was very amazed. He said, this must be my son. This must be Ganga's son. And then he tried to approach him, he disappeared somewhere. So then he prayed to Ganga and said, please give back my son. So Ganga appeared, gave the son to him and said, that's enough, my tenure is over, I'm going back. So she went back to the heavenly planets. So Devavrata was an amazing discovery for Shantanu. He was so powerful, just the right person to become the king. And what more does a king want? I have my succession already, very well trained by Ganga, Vasishta, everybody. And I don't have to worry much at all. So he was very free. Shantanu, with great hope. So he went to the forest again, hunting. Then that time when he went to the forest, he saw an amazing scent. Musk, the musk deer scent. So where is the deer? And he couldn't find the deer, but he found the scent so strong that he followed it and went right up to the fisherman's house, where his daughter, Matsyavati, she, from whom the scent came, he found out. And then he instantly fell in love with her. And he said, I have to marry you. Went and asked the father. And the father said, no, you cannot. Why? Because you're a king. And the sons of my daughter will never get to be king because they're not in the royal clan. So I don't want to get her still married because she'll suffer in the future. So he said, oh gosh, I didn't think about that. Because my son Devavrata, he definitely has to be the king. He's so powerful and he's Ganga's, son, and, everything is pinned on him. So he didn't say anything. He just went back very morose. And he stayed like that, very morose, sleeping in the bed, and, generally very. Kshatriyas get very disturbed when they don't get their gratification and are not able to do anything. So watching his father very morose, Devavrata went and found out what happened exactly, and then they told him this what happened in the forest. So he went on his own to the forest, and he went to try to broker some arrangement for his father to marry that girl. In the process, when he was brokering that thing with the fisherman's for the fisher daughter's father, he said that, okay, I'll do one thing. Although I am the legal person, heir to the throne, I promise you I'll not marry. Then he said, how do I know that? He said, okay, I'm loudly proclaiming it. And he proclaimed it that I will not get married. There'll be no issues for me. In this way, your daughter issues will not be threatened. He loudly announced that because of all the demigods hearing it. There's a big sound that came and flowers fell down when he took that Bhishma, a deadly vow he has taken that he'll remain brahmachari and still carry on executing the duties. So that time he got the name title Bhishma. Bhishma means one who takes a deadly vow. And he came back and told his father. His father became very, very pleased with my son. What a son, right? And then he said, he embraced him and he said, I give you the boon that you will die only when you have to or when you want to. That is the whole story. That is why Bhishma now is not dying, because he has something to do which he knows Krishna has planned for him. And according to Krishna's plan only, even though he's got Swachanda Mrityu, that also will happen as per Krishna's plan. That is the surrender of Bhishma. I will do that only when Krishna says, okay, now you can go. Because Krishna wants me to do something. What is that? He wants me to advise and counsel Yudhishthira and the Pandavas. So I lie on this bed of arrows waiting for that. That is Krishna's plan. That's why he's talking here about the Lord's plan. Who knows? Only his devotees know his plan. That also if Krishna wills. So the plan of the Lord is not some ordinary plan. The plan of the Lord is not something that you and me can comment on. You cannot. And that's what Bhishma Dev is saying. The plan of the Lord is something that even the gopis did not know. During the Rasa Leela, Krishna was giving them the greatest of pleasures that any soul would ever have. Patak, he disappeared. He did not tell them, my plan is to disappear in between the dance, in between the peak of the Rasa Leela. He disappeared. And he took Radharani with him and left Radharani also somewhere. She also did not know. What's her plan? What is his plan? Nobody knows the plan. Not even the greatest of devotees. That way he remains very individualistic, very powerful, and the supreme, sovereign personality. So it's not an easy thing to know the plan of the Lord. And therefore it is the best thing to work according to his instructions. Prabhupada is saying in the purport. Simply listen to the Lord and his instructions, means instructions coming from those who represent him in the parampara. We must just listen because we are completely incapable of understanding our own head, what's going on. What to speak of understanding other people's plans? What to speak of understanding God's plan? So therefore, I don't think we should put ourselves in a position where we are judgmental about what is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita or the Bhagavatam. This line we should draw. You know, some people go beyond the extent. So, but why did Krishna say that? He could have said that. How do you know what it is? You don't know. So the capacity to accept the plan of the Lord and move in it is called surrender. Surrender means, okay, this is your plan. I accept it. And whatever you plan, you may use me accordingly. That is a higher sacrifice. For a person to say, I completely believe in you, you're my shelter. Not only am I dependent on you, I go beyond and ask you to use me as you will it. I am not going to protest against, although I may like it, I may not like it, my mind will say so many things. But that is nothing to do, it's all material. Whatever your plan is, I must execute it, whether my mind likes it or does not like it. Liking, disliking, and all in spiritual life, it has got no meaning actually. In spiritual life, how to satisfy Krishna. That's all is a criterion. That's all is a criterion. Not that I do if I like it. In the initial stages in devotional service, we are all asked to do what we like to do. Oh, you like to be on social media? Very good. You do this website, you do this Facebook, you do this now. Very nice. I like to do that. You get absorbed in it and you get purified, and then you know that you're not very happy. And then slowly, slowly, as you serve, you know that I must serve not with any conditions. Whatever pleases the Lord, I must do. This is what the gopis are famous for. And Bhishma recollects the gopis' pastimes with Krishna and how Krishna dallied with them and how they were so much absorbed in Krishna and they were very dear to Krishna. Bhishma recollects even that. Then Bhishma recollects that how, as Parthasarthi, I like his beautiful form, ash on his hair, dust, this thing, his face covered with dust, his beautiful looks, and his kavacha kundalam, and his dress as a Kshatriya. And then with him comes Arjuna on that invincible chariot. That form of the Lord, he likes so much. Prabhupada explains in the purport that he went to Parthasarthi Loka, where eternally Krishna is speaking Bhagavad Gita, and you can see Krishna in the Kshatriya form. So these are eternal leelas of the Lord going on. And he liked the Lord in that form so much that he went. And he recollects Gatottariyam, that Uttariyam, his Uttariyam fell down as he got down from the chariot and ran to grab the wheel and, finish me in anger like a lion. He explained very beautiful shlokas. And like a lion, all this he will recollect and tell the Pandavas. And Krishna will stand there, watch, and listen to the whole thing. As his pure devotee Bhishma is glorifying him and giving them counsel and advice. So the plan of the Lord is not something so easy to understand. What is he doing? Why is he doing? What are these pastimes? Why are they enacted? It's not very simple. It's not just a katha alone. Katha is good. It's purifying for us, right? Kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. And we are hearing the katha. It is purifying. It is very nice. It's very good. That is one level of understanding, right? Even all of them would like to hear Krishna's pastimes. Even Yashodama is singing the pastimes of Krishna and churning butter from the beautiful Goloka Vrindavan house. She is also chanting the glories of Krishna in his pastimes. Everybody likes Krishna's pastimes. By hearing the Krishna's pastimes, gradually we come to understand what do these pastimes mean? Who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead? how to understand him. Right? That's why we must always try to do things in such a way to satisfying to the Lord. Prabhupada explains how a pure devotee's actions are very pleasing to the Lord. In the beautiful second canto, where there's Brahma's creative prayers for creative energy, it's mentioned, I think. We're reading the Bhagavatam. There you will see Prabhupada is commenting when there is a whole thing about demigods and Brahma's position and Shiva and everything. So Prabhupada is commenting, and there it is mentioned in the shloka that the Lord is not so pleased with the demigods. It's very amazing. The sacrifices and everything the demigods do, he is not so much pleased with them as much as he is pleased with the pure devotee. And Prabhupada goes ahead to explain some amazing thing in the purport. He said the Lord is more pleased with the devotee who spreads his glories all over the world and endeavors to do that and bring. Then he is pleased with the sacrifices of the demigods. Why? Because they are doing sacrifice all with material desires in the heart and they want something for themselves. Oh, Ravana has come, please come and remove him. Oh, Hiranyakashipu has come, this has happened. Oh, this demon has this happened, please, please. So although he's obliged to the demigods because they are very loyal and they are very, careful about following his instructions and everything, they are not as equivalent to pure devotees. So he's telling that the devotees' work of preaching, bringing souls to me is far, far more pleasing to me. So how to please Krishna in the Krishna conscious moment is to spread the holy name, distribute the books of Prabhupada, make people devotees. This is the primary business. This is our product. Then you will please the Lord. Why? Because in this Kali Yuga, that is the plan of the Lord. Yajnayi Sankirtana Praye Yajantihi Sumedashaha. If you're an intelligent fellow, you should take part in the Sankirtan movement and help the Supreme Lord, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to actually achieve his purpose. He wants to distribute his mercy to one and everybody. He wants everybody to chant the holy name. This is an order, actually. This is an order. Amarajnai Guru Hoi Tare Desh. By my order, you become a guru and you liberate this place. That's his order. So it's the order to everybody. And if we take this order seriously, this is the plan. This is my plan in Kali Yuga. He has openly said it. Amarajnai Guru Hoi Tare Desh. Jare Deko Tahe Kaho Krishna Upadesh. So you can see people who have really understood Prabhupada's movement simply be busy doing this and engaging everybody in doing this. This is the crux. This is the plan of the Lord in Kali Yuga. That is why Prabhupada has put forward this plan. He said, I have hatched a plot, a transcendental plot. How to actually outwit Maya in Kali Yuga and go back to Godhead. So that plan of the Lord has been executed by Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. They are not different. They are the same. That plan of the Lord coming from Lord Chaitanya onwards in the Parampara through the Goswamis and another generation of devotees coming through Bhaktivedanta Thakur, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada is implemented as the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Prabhupada calls it one of the branches of the ISKCON tree. So this plan which Prabhupada has given, you must understand, is Krishna's plan. It's Lord Chaitanya's plan. And that is why we follow what we are talking about. Prabhupada has said this is the way it should do. And he's given instructions, we simply follow because it is immediately the plan of Krishna. So this is the business of everybody who is a follower of Prabhupada, to introduce everybody to Prabhupada's teachings, introduce everybody to the beautiful society he has formed, to the plan, to the lifestyle he has given us. And if we follow that, we are within the plan of the Lord. You get the same benefit like Bhishma. You get the same benefit like Bhishma. What is that? Jiver Udoya Namer Ruchi. We chant the holy name with great fervor and feeling, taste the holy name, don't commit offenses, and deeply meditate on the sound of the holy name of Krishna. That you'll do first. Then, because it is so good, because it makes you feel so good, because it is the greatest fortune, why will you not give it to others? Yes, you want others to be also benefiting from that. Give it to others. This is Jivera Doya. Whomever you see, Jare Deko Tahe Kaho, give them Krishna Pradesh. If you do these two things carefully, dedicatedly, sincerely, you are following Krishna's plan. This is the instruction given by Bhishma to Yudhishthira Maharaj. In the presence of Krishna, he said, this is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Adi, Purusha, Param Brahman, the Absolute Truth, and he has come in your family, and he has taken part in these things, and he is very, very close to you because you're his pure devotees. Right? So you have nothing to worry. What is it you're worrying about? For what are you worrying about? Right? We tend to worry a lot without understanding that we have the holy name, we have the Bhagavatam, we have the Bhagavad Gita, we have everything with us, Prasadam Association. But we sit and worry. What are we doing? Why don't we just immediately do what you're supposed to do? Why don't we utilize the situation? Eat the prasadam. You don't sit in front of the prasadam and say, oh, I'm hungry, I am this thing, nobody cares for me, nobody feeds me. Arey, reach out and eat the prasadam. Krishna has brought it in front of you. What do you mean nobody feeds you? Krishna is looking after you. Sometimes devotees lament in spite of them being very fortunate because they can't recognize the fortune, execute the fortune, live out the fortune, because they're so conditioned to the material world. And their response to Krishna consciousness also is like that. Forget it. Forget that response. Just surrender to Krishna and his plan. And you are in the safest ground. So this surrender to Krishna, like we are recollecting in Tamil in the Gajendra Moksham series that we're doing in the evenings, this surrender to Krishna is become or been made very easy by Lord Chaitanya. You don't need any pre-qualification for that. You don't even have to have known a prayer in your previous life. Gajendra somehow got mercy like that. But you don't have to even be knowing a prayer in your previous life. You can right now chant Hare Krishna. Right now decide to surrender to Krishna. Right now engage in pleasing Krishna by your actions. And it's so easy. Chant Hare Krishna, give it to others. Teach others the books of Prabhupada. Help them to become devotees. Counsel them. Work for Krishna. Krishna te akila cheshta. Sincerely you do it. You may be doing something small here. Does not matter. Krishna knows what you're doing. It may not come on YouTube. It may not come on Facebook and social media that so-and-so did this. Doesn't matter. Krishna knows. It doesn't need social media communication. It's right in your heart. It's right in the heart. So just cater to that one media enough. Krishna media, Paramatma media, right inside. He is witness to it. So you go ahead and do as much as you can for Krishna. Whether people recognize it or not, be within the plan of Krishna. If they recognize it, it's very good. If they don't, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's all Krishna's plan. And it'll always turn out to be good. Because the plan of Krishna is always good for all the living entities. It just apparently looks like something different. So we should not be persons who cannot see this. And it's very easy for you to miss the plan of the Lord. Like they say, missing the wood, missing the tree, missing the wood in the trees, something like that. Karna could not understand Krishna's plan. He came right up to him and told him, you are Pandava. You are, I really want to give you mercy. Why don't you forget this Duryodhana and all of them and be on the side of the Pandavas and fight the Pandavas? No, I cannot do that. How can you advise these things to me morally, ethically wrong? Once I've given word to somebody, I must keep up my word. He started speaking religion, duty, everything to Krishna. Krishna himself is telling, I am telling you here, break it, come this way. Nothing will happen. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam praja. Aham tvam sarvapapebhyo mokshayishami ma suchaha. Don't fear. I am there. Nothing will go wrong if you tell this to Duryodhana and get out. Don't think any reaction will come on you. Nobody will say anything about you. I look after that because I am the Supreme Personality of God. He didn't listen, Karna. He could not listen to the plan of the Lord. In fact, he said that how can you suggest these things to me? He left. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. So they had to be intelligent to accept the plan of the Lord. We must understand this very well. Don't try to make your own plans. This is the problem. Your own plans come up when you're not really surrendered. When you're surrendered, you will not make other plans. This does not mean that you're a blind idiot who cannot think. Although you can think, you say, I don't want to think anymore. I'm completely yours. You do what you want with me. Sometimes people come and surrender like that. The most dangerous people. They put their whole load on you. They think this is what surrender means. I don't have to do anything. I don't do any thinking. I just eat, sleep, chant Hare Krishna, and then I just read something. If somebody tells me something, I do. Completely surrendered to the plan of the Lord. And nobody will tell you anything, you'll go to sleep. Plan of the Lord. No. No. You have to engage yourself. You have to take a book and go out and distribute it. You have to chant Hare Krishna. You have to proactively, willingly, out of your own volition, speak Krishna consciousness to others. Don't become spiritually inactive. That is Maya cheating you. Right? Don't find reasons and excuses and blame. You have to act on your Krishna consciousness. Put it to practice, your philosophy, your conviction. Then you will see you will be within the plan of the Lord. And then you will also see that you are feeling enthusiastic more and more. Under any situation and circumstances, you're happy to do. So you can see that from the plan of Krishna. And Prabhupada has given us, this is the plan of the Lord in Kali Yuga, please join me. And all of you can do even better than me. Because Lord Chaitanya is so merciful. Anybody wants to do, he is going to help them. He is going to fully empower them. So this is a golden period for anybody who wants to make gains in spiritual life. He just needs to chant Hare Krishna and give it to others. And the Lord's greatest mercy will be shown. Even greater than what the demigods get. Right? So this we must understand what is the meaning of mercy of the Lord in Kali Yuga. And we must understand that Bhishma, especially in this Bhishma Panchaka, we should meditate on this. How Bhishma, although was in very awkward situations, really speaking was always in great devotion to Krishna and enjoying deep devotional service. That's why he is able to expound and say these things. These are the rich aspects of the Bhagavatam. If you really look into Bhishma's talks and the different things he would say while Krishna is standing there, it shows how deep he is, and how a deep devotee gets reciprocation from Krishna in a deep way. So he was shooting Arjuna and Krishna, and he knew that Krishna is protecting Arjuna. So I will give it to him, and he shot Krishna. If you're blocking Arjuna, then you will get it. And he got it on himself. Blood. So many arrows. He was dodging and protecting Arjuna. That also he says in this Bhishma Stuti. He will say how wonderfully he maneuvered and protected his dear devotee Krishna. So beautiful shlokas in this. How beautifully he maneuvered and protected Krishna from my arrows, from my deadly arrows. And he took all the... And the Bhagavatam, great acharyas have mentioned, Prabhupada has quoted that these arrows for Krishna, they were not hurting him. He was having a relationship and a reciprocation with Bhishma. It's mentioned that they were like a lover throwing roses or lotuses at his lover. and other lover getting hit by that. Oh, wonderful. So when Bhishma shot arrows, Krishna was enjoying it. He was actually enjoying it. All the blood coming in, all that is external. Because how can you say the Lord, got hurt and blood came out of it? Nobody speaks about it. There's nothing like that for Krishna. But you will see that it is mentioned in the Mahabharata that he was hurt by Bhishma's arrows. And he took it voluntarily because Bhishma was sending forth his offering of love through the arrows. So amazing, the reciprocation there. And Bhishma wanted Krishna, come on, pick up arms. Want to see you break your vow. And he said, oh, my dear devotee, that's what you want? Okay, here I am doing it. For you, anything I'll do. And he jumped out of this thing too. And then Arjuna understood this, what he's doing. He jumped and held Krishna and said, don't do this, don't break your vow. People will speak ill of you, I can't stand it. All these emotions were going on the battlefield, all based on devotion, pure devotion to Krishna. And Krishna was reciprocating them. But nobody saw it. If you read the Mahabharata, you don't see it. You have to read the Bhagavatam to be able to see this. When you read the Bhagavatam's explanation of Bhishma's passing away, then you know the deep internal aspects of it. If you read Mahabharata, you may not know it so much. Mahabharata is very great, very nice, but these deep devotional sentiments are expressed in the Bhagavatam. And in the Bhagavatam only you'll understand who really is Bhishma Dev as a devotee, why he is one of the 12 Mahajanas. Because this is what he shares in his heart. And he's completely surrendered devotee to Krishna. So the lives of all these great devotees and their devotional service under extenuating circumstances, and how Krishna puts them in these situations, because they will shine forth anyway because of their devotion. This is so wonderful. It's so wonderful, right? So we can see, like I told you, Prabhupada's life is also very much like that. Beautiful life of Krishna consciousness, fully dedicated to Krishna. And he had a glorious passing away. Passed away so wonderfully. We celebrated the passing away also some time back. And we can learn some of these lessons from Bhishma Deva's passing away. We should also be willing to pass away like this, gloriously having served Krishna, pass away serving Krishna. Even till the last breath, Bhishma was serving Krishna, because that is Krishna's plan. That is Krishna's plan. I go by his plan. I don't mind waiting on a bed of arrows. I don't mind all this austerity, because the goal of life is to get Krishna and his love. And that I am getting. So what does it matter? Right? So in this way, we can understand the deep feelings of a devotee. Similarly, how Prabhupada was motivated by this deep love in his heart for Krishna to take up any type of risk and perform Krishna consciousness service. Om Tat Sat. Bhishma Deva Ki Jai. Any question or comment? Okay, Haribol, Hare Krishna.